All right, welcome to Victory, the podcast. We had a great episode last week with Reese Coiro, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we
That
did.
was last week because I never know the schedule. With Connolly is like a studio executive who determines what's going to air when and
Well, yeah, somebody has to do that, Doug.
yeah. So we just kind of got to go with what he says. And we're going to get into some stuff because Kevin Dillon, by the way, has probably made more movies this year than any actor in town. So
It's been a great year, man. It's been a really good year.
I think Victory, the podcast, has maybe helped that a little bit. What do you think?
I think it could have.
Yeah.
Very well could have.
We had the pleasure of hosting Kevin Dillon yesterday for his press junket for his new movie.
It was a long day, dude. It was a long day. I think it was, 16 or something?
It got
16 hours?
No, 16 interviews. But
Oh.
It got us to thinking about the art of the press junket, which is going to be the
All right, so,
precipice.
yeah, I want to get into that because it is.
which
That
has
even makes
changed
sense.
as well.
I
It
want
used
to
to be different.
I want to hear about how it's changed, and I want to hear about how important it is. And by the way, it's something that most actors despise, most
Yes.
filmmakers despise because it is incredibly long and repetitive. But it's absolutely necessary
Of
if you
course.
want to
Yes.
sell what you do.
And
So
for people listening, the press junket is before a movie is released, you'll get your stars together, you'll get the director, and you will sit them in a room or multiple rooms over the course of a day, a couple days, depending on the size of the project, and they will spend the entire day doing interview after interview after interview after interview.
And before COVID, it used to be like you would go to a hotel, you go to the Four Seasons, whatever, and sit in a big ballroom and with lots of tables. Sometimes you would jump from table to table. Other times you would go from room to room,
Right.
where they would set up different cameras, and that's what we did on Entourage. The Entourage
it would-
movie we did.
sometimes they might send you over to this room, or they would come to you, but
Yeah.
it would be they kind of try to hit as many outlets
Since
as possible.
COVID, though, it's changed, and it's all like a Zoom.
Right, it's all Zooms.
Tons of Zoom. So I did the
Yesterday,
16 Zoom.
Yesterday,
interviews
Kevin
or
did
something.
16 6-minute, so everybody was on a 6-minute clock. 'Cause
Yeah, some went over a bit.
I did a little behind-the-scenes documentary, podcast-documentary, if that's even a thing. I might have made that up.
Yeah.
That we're gonna throw to at the end. So
Yeah, it
people
was a
can
little.
actually-
It was a little weird having Connolly. I'm doing interviews, and he's sneaking around the table with the
so
camera
creepy.
and
trying to get
microphone.
Trying to get content.
finally,
Trying to get content. But let's talk about the press junket. I mean, it is
I
important.
thought we were getting into other things and then getting into the pressure.
Okay,
No?
well, Doug's got other things on his mind, and then we'll talk about the press junket. What do you got?
I thought we'd talk. I mean, listen, there's been some drama behind the scenes at Action Park Media. Aside from the cash I've loaned Connolly, what do you think about that, Dylan?
I think
Well,
you talk
where's
about
my
it- I think
cash?
you talk about it every episode, literally every episode.
But when do you think
But
I'll
we
get it
gotta-
back?
We have to go.
You wanna move on.
We have to move on. We could talk. Yeah,
We'll talk, Sarah. Look at him, this muttering,
Just
stuttering
saying it's
prick, by the
boring,
way.
and you do that too, and you're just so repetitive.
By the
what
way,
is on your mind that you want to talk
I'm
about?
going to talk about it, but Dylan's going to be my muscle because he's going to get that fucking money. He's going to come over
Yeah,
and
hey,
go,
yeah. If I get a
Take
little,
10%.
The guy just
a
forgets.
little percentage.
The guy has no short-term memory.
No,
Doesn't
I
really talks
remember.
about it
I just
every-
know it's the only time I can talk about it. But
I
anyway, I want to talk about the real
the
behind
money,
the
bro?
scenes.
I'll get the money right now. I
Dylan's
got my
got his
pocket
pocket
knife.
The real behind the scenes drama at Action Park Media. So something happened. We got the girls. They got their own show here. I want to say this to this jerk off who wrote a review that basically said these girls have a podcast because they're banging the bosses. So a couple of things I need to address about that. Number one, I'm not a boss. I have nothing to do with it. Number two, just so you're clear, you ignorant motherfucker, a podcast costs about $80. You don't have to bang anybody to get a podcast at Action Park Media.
Well,
You
not to
just-
mention we also have kids and all that kind of stuff together.
So
it's
obviously
it's hardly some like behind the scenes affair to get the podcast going. I mean, like we live together. What are you talking about?
But what I wanted
We have a
to
baby together.
But what I wanted to say is Kevin Connolly, who is his proven track record of picking good podcasts, from Bob Menery, before anybody ever heard of him, who went to #1 that day, to Victory, which is now somewhere near 10 million downloads with live shows heading to Australia soon, I hope. But the girls are good and they're growing. And this guy, there's a guy online.
But there's so many good things, and you just get hung up on the one review. Who cares what that guy
I'm not hung
says?
up. Well, would you be hung up on this? This is what they said. This is what this guy. This is not about the girls. At 54 years old, Doug might be the most immature pothead I've ever seen. Will this guy ever leave the guys from Entourage alone and disappear? Like literally, without social media, no one would know or care about Doug at all. I thought Entourage was bigger than my social media, but thank you for saying that. But this guy, by
that
the
was
way,
a mean thing to say, Doug. I'm hurt for you. I don't like
this
that.
guy debunked. He's
Well,
the
who
same-
is he though? I mean, he's a
Troll.
Is he working for a magazine? I mean, he's a nobody.
I got some guesses who it really is because I know it's like a personal thing. But by the way, I am always welcome. I've offered to leave these guys alone, and I think they've gotten scared.
Don't you do it! Don't you do it!
But
That was kind of a mean. That was
Immature.
That was kind of a mean review. I was kind of annoyed at you before that. Now I
What
kind
are
of
you
feel
annoyed at
bad.
me for?
No, I'm
just,
not annoyed at that. That guy's a. This guy's a
I
troll.
don't. You got to ignore the bad shit. You really do. You can't.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
care one bit. I only care if you guys were like, listen, we have been talking and we wish you'd leave us alone, and then I'll leave. By the way, I'm not that hard to get rid of. I'm like a guy.
Doug, we have been talking.
Yeah,
so.
I don't.
But Doug, I'm glad you backed me up on the with the entertainer girls, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you did back me up on for an hour podcast, you got to come in, you do 10 minutes before.
Oh, well, let's set the stage for that
Right.
because they don't know. So what happened the other day is Sarah, who, Connolly, you would say is sweet, nice
The
person
best.
who doesn't overstay her welcome. But anyway, she calls me up. She goes, I don't know what happened, but Connolly kicked us out of the studio. And I'm like, what?
So dramatic.
What do you mean? But then I dive a little deeper, and I find out the entertainer girls, which Dillon, they've also gotten Dillon to work for free for
Right.
them.
They got your voiceover and
I'm
introducing
cool with that.
segments.
Yeah.
You know, but here's the deal. Connolly they're running on a tight budget here. It's an operation that has to get things in and out. And the girls who are great and their podcast is growing. That's a separate issue.
And they have fun. They come in, they have some wine, they're always in a good mood, there's laughs, they do all of that
Right.
stuff.
But you don't want
great.
them here for 4 hours.
It's not that I don't want them there. It's that when they're so what happened was now I can see from the cameras, I wasn't here, but they finished recording and then they did like probably a 30-minute photo shoot in the booth.
Okay.
Right now, while they're doing that, and Dave and Kira are there, that then backlogs the social media clip. So it's not that I don't want them there, but it's just
you want work to go. But the thing
you
that
just
I
want to record, take your shots, take your Instagram
the
shots.
thing
and
that
then
I
you
try
gotta
to
go.
tell
40
Connolly
minutes.
though, Kev,
go.
the thing I try to tell Connolly though, as the leader of men and women, as the leader of Action Park Media, he has to just tell them just nicely and clearly what's going on. Because I had Sarah hysterical at home crying
hysterical.
that Connolly doesn't like her. Basically,
What?
he doesn't want her
God.
around the
I didn't say
office.
it.
I mean,
No, I did say that. Like I said to Kira, I said, "Yo, you got to tell them that they got to go.
yeah.
They got to go. They can't be here for 3 hours."
But it wasn't explained as to exactly what the problem is. So
It's been
you know.
explained multiple times in different versions. We've talked about light touch and heavy touch, and that's just a super.
So
heavy
everyone
touch
understands what that means is the light touch, which now Victory is. We come in,
which
we
is
record.
crazy. Victory is light touch.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes to edit it. Kevin
come
does a
in,
great
I got
job.
you. I
You
got
come in, you sit down, and you go, and Kevin
Yeah.
edits it, and boom, there
so
we go.
but here's where the girls go now, because Kevin, I guess I don't even know where it happened, but I have a home office where the magic doesn't usually happen because I'm a
that's
lazy
hilarious.
bastard.
So
But
they weren't allowed in the studio, so they had to do a Zoom podcast, and Doug couldn't get into his office because Sarah was recording the podcast.
but I'm like, I wake up and look, it is a struggle for me every day. I'm like, I got to get ready to pitch Ramble On. We're going out with it in September, October. We're gonna sell this motherfucker, but I got to be ready, and I gotta aside from just the pilot, which we all love, I got to be ready to tell people what the plan is, what the budget is.
What's
what all this
episode
stuff.
2? What's episode 3? Yeah.
So I got to work. So I got the whole weekend ready where I'm like, okay, Monday morning, there's no bullshitting. And this is what, if you ever saw Nicolas Cage's movie Adaptation, you could see the real deal of what writers most go through, how torturous it is, how awful it is, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, I have a plan. I go to sleep at 9 o'clock. I am like, okay, I wrote a list down for myself, which every writer, you should do this. I wrote a list, wake up in the morning, do X, Y, and Z, all with the intention of getting into that office by a normal hour and writing stuff down. I wake up in the morning and Sarah tells me, oh, she needs the office for the Zoom. But don't worry, it's just from 9 to 11. Those are my...
They just take too long.
They're not
they take
light
too
touch,
long.
even
they
in the
just
home.
got to get in and do it. You
Yeah.
got to get in and do it. And that's the best way to keep the podcast moving and keep it fresh. I mean, it's just insane.
But so 9 to 11, is that... First of all,
it's a lot of time,
it
bro.
threw me off completely. But I go...
Now, imagine if they're doing 9 to 11 in here,
Yeah.
that's 8:30 to 11:45, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, I think nobody can be here that long.
So, but anyway, I bit my tongue and I said, you know what? And I'm not joking.
I love it. Doug and I are on the same side on this one. For
I
once.
drove to Malibu for breakfast just to waste time.
kill a little time.
And the whole time I'm going, I can't believe, I haven't worked, really in 3 months and I just need the goddamn office. And yes, We all writers, we make any excuse we can. Could I have walked into the backyard with my laptop and done it? Probably, but I just had a plan. And I bought this. I bought another because I lost it. The
strap.
The strap from Shark Tank that keeps my
Right.
back straight in the chair. I had every preparation. I thought I got the Adderall ready in case I need it, and I feel like I'm done.
In case the energy dips, you got
Yep.
the
So
zippies.
I'm in Malibu
The
now, and I'm
zippies.
timing this out perfectly so I can arrive back at 11 o'clock sharp and get in this office, no excuses, and do it. I come up 11 o'clock. I open the door, and the office is right where the door is, and I can hear the giggles.
Like
and
they're not even recording.
Oh,
they're like
then-
doing between takes shit. It's so
They're
good.
not even like close. And when I walk up the stairs, and I'm like, "What's up?" You'd think like she's Julie McCoy from The Love Boat. She's so excited, happy to see me. Life is so great, and I'm like, "Get out of my office."
Let me give you my version of that.
Yeah.
So Zulai parks in my parking spot, right? So I drive around. I circle around. By the way, in
You're
fact,
talking about this one here at Action Park.
So when they're here, like I'm in the neighborhood and I drive around and make calls. Scotty, who won't admit this, but Scotty's another one that ducks the entertainer riffraff because Scotty and I have driven past each other driving around the block waiting for them to get out of there. So I'm watching on camera and I see that they're done recording and they're in there for 30 minutes. Did you say to Sarah, you got to understand. Did you tell her?
I told she understands.
She understands
gets
it now, right?
Yeah. I don't think Sarah will never overstay her welcome, but she didn't understand it. She just thought like she was very sensitive that I don't know if we did something.
Well,
And-
Zulai's like, don't yell at me. I'm like, I didn't. Who yelled? Who's yelling? I didn't yell. I just said you guys have to finish up in the studio.
Yeah.
Yelling. I'm texting it to you. Am I text yelling?
It's
She
like
doesn't know.
it's like the thing I stole from Trading Places. Eddie Murphy. I had Kevin Dillon do it at a party where he doesn't want anyone fucking with his apartment. Get the fuck out.
fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, Kev, you mentioned something yesterday before you were leaving. Amy made music. Did a little show last night in Malibu. How was that?
Great concert at Christie's over by Trancas Market, where that used to be, the Trancas Market area.
We shot
She
there.
was great.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
But what
we
do they do?
shot
They
there
put,
when
they
it
put
was
out
Trancas
grass and
Market.
they have like a community.
Yeah, they do Friday night concerts.
Right.
Throughout the whole summer. They're going to do a couple more weeks of it. It's great.
What
man.
time did it
really
start?
is.
Was it
There's
like
probably
nice-
500 people there.
Or like a
maybe more.
nice time, the sun coming down.
The
like-
sun is setting,
right.
and there was, I guess, a kind of a famous country singer that was there as well.
Right.
And then the two of them went up. They did a duet together. It was
Nice.
really cool.
Nice, man.
And
That's
she,
pretty cool.
she kills it.
Yeah, she
She's
does.
so good, man.
Yeah, she is.
She really is amazing.
All right, so we'll get into now
The press junket.
The press junket, and obviously on Entourage we did scenes where you see how the press junket works. But
Yeah, we did cover the press junket.
yeah,
That's right.
so
Did
and-
we? Which one?
I mean, we definitely had Vince and Billy Walsh up there with the monies. Isn't that a press
Oh
junket?
no, that was the Hollywood Farm Press. That was the Hollywood Farm
for the
Press.
Golden
Globes.
Golden Globe thing.
Did we do a press
I
junket?
don't think we did the
think-
press junket, but
Never?
the press junket is where the actor earns their money. Like when you see Tom Cruise in a Japanese hibachi shop flipping, promoting Mission Impossible, like that's where you make your money. You got to go around. Kev, we talked a little bit about this yesterday. Back in the day, they used to do these massive world tour. Like I can remember Toby doing like the Spider-Man, and it was like these like massive trips. And
I
those,
did one where I think it was something like 15 cities in the United States over like a 4-day period or something.
for heaven help us.
It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
Right,
Doing
flying
like
over-
2 cities a day,
Right.
3 cities.
Yeah, I mean that's where you make your money. Right?
So tell me about it. Obviously, I've done them too, not nearly as much as you guys, and they are. It's a torturous process because you have to deal with 15, 20 people asking you the exact same questions.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the trick. That's
Yeah.
the real thing. It's really always going to be this. For example, we talked about it, and when we would do Entourage, it would be like, so who's in your real life entourage?
Yeah.
Who, if you had to pick an entourage of historical figures, who would it be? Right? Everything. We're
Who would your historical entourage be? Kevin?
Yeah,
That's but honestly, I'm
that's
actually
great-
interested in that
I'm
question.
sure you could find hundreds of answers of that because I've asked it
Elvis.
a million times. Right? Elvis,
Yeah, just to be a fly on the wall.
JFK, Tupac.
Did you guys
Sinatra.
see the Elvis movie, by the way?
Yeah, I'm a huge Elvis fan. I didn't really love the movie. I
No?
thought the guy who played Elvis was great, but I don't know. It seemed a little too fantastical to
Right,
me and just
right.
I'm sure
unrealistic.
I'm sure that was a pretty big press junket there. Like for example, when we did "He's Just Not That Into You," and that was a big one too, and it was all. So what do you tell a girl when you're just not that into her? Yeah. Have you ever broken up via text message? What's the worst way somebody? And again, it's like they come in and it's their 6 minutes. But if you watch clips right? If you see these clips of like actors getting grouchy and you're like, oh, this guy's kind of an asshole. It's like, well, he's been sitting there for 5 days answering the same questions. Like, I think Jonah Hill gets a little rough around the edges towards the end of
Didn't
the end
Jonah
of the
Hill
junket.
do something during a junket? What did you tell me with Leo or something? Did he do like a?
Well, no, I think that was a press conference. He had a fart machine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you start to go a little bit crazy. But like Dillon said, now with COVID, yesterday it's funny because Dillon comes in, and bro, now I know I got Dillon's number, bro. Get him a muffin. A hot
coffee.
cup of coffee.
Yes, I'm
and
a
the
happy
guy will die for you. If he's got it, he will do the most simple thing in the world. Most simple. I go to Swingers. I got him
That's
a
all I
muffin,
need.
Got him a cup of coffee. He came in, and it's funny because the air conditioning in Studio B is broken. Dylan's like, dude, I don't know if it's the coffee or my fucking shirt.
Well, the hot coffee. You drink a hot coffee in a hot room, and you're gonna start sweating.
With every interview, Dillon opens another button. By his last interview, his like shirt was open. His shirt was hanging out. Finally, I had to come clean. I'm like, Dillon, listen, it ain't the coffee and it ain't your flannel. The air conditioning in Studio B is down. So Kevin and man, every 6 minutes, a new person popped on. Kevin left that room 2 times. He had like running across the room piss breaks.
Yeah.
And then you went back in. Scotty and I were looking like, fuck, man, he's been in there for trying to, gauge your temperature. But I went in and I did a little behind the scenes.
You crawled across the floor and started recording me.
Yeah, I mean, I
was
thought
weird.
it was appropriate that we could have a record of you saying that your version of the Blob was better than that of one Steve McQueen. But
Oh,
be confident.
Well, I wasn't saying I was better than McQueen. I was saying
The
our
movie.
version was better than McQueen's.
It was better.
The Chuck Russell version, who Chuck killed it. I
Right.
think it was better. I mean, the original Blob was a
Well, it was
C
a
movie.
50s movie,
Yeah,
right?
it was
I
like
mean,
one
it
of
was
those really bad horror movies.
like
but
Soil
it
and
was great.
Green. It
Don't
was
get
like
me
in the
wrong.
Soil
I
and
mean,
Green.
So
phase.
did you? Was the quote accurate that you said you're better looking than Steve McQueen or no?
No. And then the other thing too, like, of course I can.
Nobody's a bigger Steve McQueen fan than me.
I can
mean,
twist
love
Dillon's
McQueen.
words any way I want. Dillon says, sometimes you just got to pull your pants up and go to work or something. And I was like,
Well, you
I
mean
was
your
like,
pants are
what?
down?
That would imply that your pants were down. So I sat in for a couple of the interviews. But again, you can always see it and
Well, I
you'll
was
hear it.
distracted by the guy crawling around the table. I was like, what the hell is going
By the
on
way,
here?
while Connolly's crawling on his knees, you thought about your pants down. Both of that is fucking weird.
I mean, he was crawling under the table.
And I
mean,
want
it
to
was-
jump onto Steve McQueen for 1 second
You
because
wanna
that's the
jump on
only
Steve
thing, and I don't
McQueen?
want to criticize
You want to jump on
anybody, but-
Steve McQueen?
No,
That'd be weird.
Did
bro.
I say
He died
anything
a while
close to
ago.
that?
Died a while ago.
But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which really to me was one of the best movies in many years, but. He's a great actor, but the guy from Homeland Billions was Steve McQueen. I hated it.
Damien.
I hated
Yeah. He's a good actor though.
He is a great actor, but
Yeah.
did you see the movie?
Yeah, I did.
Did he feel like Steve McQueen?
After a while, he did. I
Yeah?
felt.
All right.
Yeah.
Bingo. When I-
In the beginning, I'm like, well,
Yes.
I don't know, but then after a while, I was feeling him as McQueen.
All right.
He won me over.
You know what? I'm going to watch
Yeah.
it
Won me
again.
over.
And I do love the movie, and I don't want to criticize him because he's a great actor.
But the same thing happened with the guy who played Elvis.
Even though those
in
jerk
the
offs stole
beginning, I
billions
went,
from him.
and after a while, he kind of really started.
He won you
He
over.
won me over
He
as
won you
Elvis.
over.
Yeah, his mannerisms.
You know,
and stuff, like dancing. and all
I
that.
know I'm a fucking animal. I'm a narcissist, whatever. But like, I got a bunch of DMs where people send young pictures, and they said they imagine that guy. I'll send you the screenshot. They
Of what?
imagine. They said they imagined that guy looked like I looked in high school. They said screenshots.
What, the Elvis guy?
The Elvis guy. I guess there's a little Val Kilmer.
Well, you and Elvis are identical.
No,
bro.
not Elvis. The guy. A picture of him.
Yeah,
I'll put the screenshot up. You Connolly's
right.
You're
doing
trying
it,
to
but
tell me
I'm not
you're
tr-
a cross
he's
between
Elvis.
Val Kilmer and Austin Butler?
I am not trying
Fucking,
to.
you
And
are,
Elvis.
By the way,
And Elvis. Guess
you
what
are a
Elvis
pothead.
I am not trying to tell you
Would you
anything.
eat some edibles?
I
Oh,
will
yeah,
send
pothead.
you
Are
the
you
DM.
fucking high?
By the way,
I'm gonna have Loon cut you off.
Can I say this,
dopehead.
by the way, Dillon?
Yeah.
He's the alky because I already sent him this picture. He goes, yeah, I guess I see it in that picture.
Well,
We
I was
already
being
discussed
nice.
this.
No, I don't. You don't look like. But I mean, come on, bro. Every time we talk about a good-looking guy, you talk about how people tell you look like him, right?
It's not.
Like,
Okay, you're
you
changing
look like
the
a young
narrative.
Val Kilmer. You look like Elvis and Iceman.
You're changing the narrative. I'm not saying that I'm as good looking as either of these men. There's a similarity, whatever.
What
It's
you're saying is you're better looking than these guys.
I think that's blasphemous. But Dillon, you hung in there, and again, you start to see the pattern, right? So, Dillon does this movie. It's called Wire Room, and it's with Bruce Willis. So right, that's the kind of the elephant in the room. Now,
Yeah.
Kev, when you're doing a press junket, are the things that because the Lionsgate publicist was in there with you, she was wearing a mask. So I was trying to get sound bites from her, but she was a little muffled. We'll see how that plays out. But
Yeah.
are there things that you're prepared for? Like,
Well, I watched the movie the night before
Right.
at 2:00 in the morning, so I was exhausted when I came in. But the movie's good.
right?
We shot. That's one of the movies we shot in 7 days. I can't believe how amazing this movie turned out. It really did.
My question is why say it's 7 days anyway? I mean, it's the movie stands on its own. It's a fucking good movie.
I know. Maybe I shouldn't say
don't
that.
think you
I
should.
was thinking
I don't
it.
think you should.
I was thinking it.
You know why I say it? Because I'm so proud of what we did
What
in
you were
7
able to
days.
accomplish.
But you're probably
Yeah,
right.
because the audience, they just want to know if it's good. They don't want excuses. They don't want, oh, wow, I can't believe they did. They just want to.
You know what? You're probably right, Doug. I just.
Yeah, you're
You
I-
can't
I'm
believe what
proud
you're-
that
Yeah.
we accomplished what we did
Right.
in 7
in
days.
7 days.
I'm psyched to see it.
that's
When
what
is
I
it out?
That's September 2nd. It'll be
Yeah.
available, and it'll be right around. By the way, it'll be available when we're listening to this episode. But Kev, what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, did they give you some direction from publicity? Did they
You know,
say,
they did. I got a bunch of notes here, which I didn't read. I said, I'm just going to wing it, man.
right? But is it
like?
like, is it say in that list about stay away
Yeah, I
from
mean,
7
they
days?
got a whole bunch of stuff here that I did not read. But, to be honest with you, the director killed it.
right.
Matt Eskandari, awesome, did an amazing job. Oliver Trevina, who's a friend of
mine.
yours, Doug.
Friend of mine as well.
He's great.
I think I'm better.
Me and Oliver had a lot of great stuff together. And to be honest with you, it was all over the phone, but we still had chemistry together.
Yeah.
It was
I'm psyched to see it. So
Yeah.
give us just a quick. I feel like I'm one of the press junket guys.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
what
I've
is it?
been through all this, but yeah,
Give me the
it's,
2
this
second
guy's
summary and what
first
can we
day
see?
at work. He's in a wire room, which is a room where you're spying on other people, where you're listening on their conversations, and it's FBI, CIA kind of thing. And this guy is told, nothing's going to happen. Usually, it's pretty boring stuff, sitting around listening to what's going on in the house. They leave him alone, and all hell breaks loose. And his day gets really crazy.
All right,
And
I'm
it's
psyched
really
to see it.
good.
How do
man.
we see it?
It's available in theaters,
gonna be
on,
in theaters.
on all digital platforms,
Yeah.
and you can see it wherever you want.
Yeah.
All right, I'm excited to see it.
And then, Kev, how
Yeah,
many times
It's good, dude. It really-
did you get the question multiple times? So if there was a wire room, if you could listen to one wire room with people, did they ask you that?
You know
much
what? I
times?
didn't get that one.
You didn't get that one?
No, I
almost
didn't.
think
You
that
have a
would
good
be-
creative.
Probably listening on your fucking house, that's for sure.
That would be amazing.
All right, well, we're going to go to this little, it's almost reminiscent of Welcome to the Jungle, which we covered last week on Entourage. Just a little behind the scenes of the press junket with Kevin Dillon performing at a high level. But before we go, been working on some stuff. We got deals.
Deals.
Yeah,
Got
couple
deals.
deals,
we're
huh?
talking with, we're going to do a little DraftKings sportbook segment
Oh,
here. on
finally.
Victory.
Nice.
the
Some
podcast.
man talk over here. Sorry.
That's it. So-
some sports talk, not man talk. Sorry.
So we got the week 1 matchups coming up, and fellas, I'm going to ask you to leave your personal. Don't. Let's not make bets with our.
Don't bet
our
with your
hearts.
heart?
By
Let's
the
bet
way,
with our
I've
heads.
never bet with my heart.
I'm not gonna lie, I bet with my heart a little bit.
You do, right?
Yeah,
I feel
Dillon
like
wears it on his sleeve.
No,
for
no,
sure.
I mean, in this case, I did a little bit.
because we're talking.
Are we gonna give our?
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay,
do
so
our
I did
picks.
this time around just because.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna make 2 picks. We're gonna do a same game parlay, and we're gonna do a straight parlay bet.
And you're talking to a fantasy football champion last year, just so you know.
Right. But you're not really a fantasy football champion. I mean, yours was on DraftKings too, right? Your league
Yeah,
was
but
DraftKings.
what do you mean? Why wasn't
Because you hire a guy that really knows what he does.
I don't
what he's
hire him.
doing.
It's one of my best friends. He just
He's got
does
like a
more than I
partner
do.
that really knows. So
David
Doug just
Lee,
like
What you say? Doug doesn't know his football?
No, he does. That's the other thing too. He doesn't need a guy.
No,
Doug knows football plenty.
But
is
this
my
guy,
point.
Yeah, he
listen,
does.
when you really want to dive in, which I wish I had the energy for it, he dives in and
Yeah.
he studies everything. And every year we're like in the top couple. But Venner
Right.
makes fun of me too that
Well,
I'm like
it's just
kind of
because you
I'm
don't-
kind of upper management that's not really getting hands on it. But I
You don't
won
need it.
anyway. You
You
don't have to
don't.
take my
Nice.
trophy from me.
So okay. So the DraftKings Sportsbook app, right? So they got some cool parlay bets that I'd like to chat about. All right.
Okay, yep.
So I'll start. Right. We're making 2 picks here, right? And this is my pick. And of course, it sounds like I'm betting with my heart and not with my head.
Oh, you're betting on the Dolphins?
I like the Dolphins.
Yeah,
I
well,
just.
That's a mistake.
That's
the
betting with your heart, right
The
there.
Dolphin. No, it's not. The Dolphins at home. I think the Dolphins win the game outright. but I don't think
Who
it's
did the
going to be.
Dolphins have again?
The Patriots. He's out of his mind.
They got Tariq
you're
Hill.
saying who's on their team?
No. Who are they playing? The
They're playing-
Patriots.
they're playing
You're
the
getting
Patriots.
smoked on that one.
Okay, well, not at
I
home.
should take that one against.
No,
you.
we're not getting smoked at home. So I'm going Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins, and I'm going to go under 45 for my same game parlay.
Okay, so you missed out on that, but that's what we're doing right now. Same game parlay.
First one that we're doing is the same game
and
parlay.
our things are we have no points. We have an even money line on the game and then the under or over. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's for the same game parlay.
I almost want to go against you on that one, but I see
But
a
go ahead.
better
You can
game.
go.
I
You
see
can
a
go.
better game,
Listen.
but I don't believe in Tua at all. That's just me.
Okay,
talking.
well,
so
we'll
whatever
see
whatever
soon.
it's worth.
We'll see
But
soon
I'm
enough.
going, and this is not with my heart at all because I'm a Giants fan. But I believe, even though I think the big worry for me with the Rams this season, besides Odell Hurt, is Whitworth retiring, and
Yeah.
But
You going Bills?
What? I'm going Rams.
Oh, you're going Rams.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm going
Okay.
Rams. I think the Rams are going to be great. I think your doppelganger, Sean McVay, is poised to become a Hall of Fame coach right now. I really do.
That's a scary bet. I'm surprised you're going anywhere near that.
And by the
bet.
way, I don't want
Bills
to take
and-
anything from
Yeah.
Josh Allen, who I think is just insane.
Bills are going to be tough.
But
That's
the
a tough
Rams
one.
at home for the opening, coming off a Super Bowl win. What are we talking about here? And the lines, I mean, they're getting points. I don't even know what's happening.
So
I'm
you're
not-
taking the Rams
taking the
over the
Rams.
Bills, and are you taking the over?
I'm
under?
taking the over too because I think Stafford's
It's
going
gonna
to
be a
have
shootout.
a big year. I think Josh Allen's going to have a huge year, but that's what I'm going with, and I feel very
Doug
good.
Ellin, Rams to the over.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
Dillon.
yeah,
who
it's
do
a
you
bold
got?
one.
Who do you got as your?
I know it's
going
going to sound like my heart too, but I'm going to take the Giants and the point. Right, I'm taking the points.
Right. So you're taking. You got the
We
Giants.
get 6 points.
No, Giants just have to win, but your odds are better, right? Because
Well, that's if I take the the under.
But in the same game parlay, I mean, it's just your
I
Giants
got
got to
you.
win the game,
Okay.
but
All
there's
right.
bigger upside. So
Yeah.
you're taking the Giants to win, and you're going
and
under.
I like the under. Well, the under was.
What should be right there in that yellow.
40, I think.
What 44?
45?
Is it 44? What do you got?
I don't
there?
have it here.
Yeah, you do. It's
I
right
do.
there. What do you got? So Dillon is going
44
Giants to win under 44. By the way,
against
that would
Tennessee.
that would be a nice payout.
Yeah, I'll take it.
If they win, that'd be a nice payout. And that would lead us to our straight parlay bets.
3-team parlay?
3-team parlay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Dolphins. I'm doing
Of
points.
course, there goes the heart again.
Well,
This guy's out of
because
his
I
mind.
think
he
think
actually
it's.
believes he's not going with his
Well,
heart.
you'll see. I'm not going.
Well, of
with
course
my
we'll
heart.
see.
I'm not going.
What are we
with my
going to
heart.
see?
So I'm going to take the Dolphins at home -2.5. I just like them. I do. I'm taking Green Bay -2, and I like the Raiders +3.5.
I think that's 1.5 to Green Bay.
Green Bay is -2.
So Connolly, can you remember when we hung out with Bill Belichick before the
I
Super
remember.
Bowl?
Super Bowl, yeah.
Before we have a great
That was
picture.
great.
We have a great picture with Bill.
He was so cool.
By the way, but I think he, because he lost to the Giants that year, and I think he was. Part of him, I think, was mad that he went to that party. We were at a party the day before. Now he wasn't.
He popped
partying.
in with zero personality, and he
Let's
walked
not
around.
make fun of Belichick. Oh.
Easy.
Doug, who do you got
He
on
was
your?
cool.
Who do you got on
I
your?
can't talk about Bill for a second.
Who do you got on your straight parlay bets?
I'm going to give you who I got. But
DraftKings
anyway,
Sportsbook.
we did have some effect on the Giants winning that Super Bowl because we got Bill to this party.
Okay,
and,
who are your
whatever.
picks? Who
Look
do you
at him.
like?
He doesn't like my side chat. I think the DraftKings people will like it. I like the Patriots. With no heart, I think he's still the best coach in the league. I think they are coming together this year, and they're going to make a Super Bowl run. That's what I believe.
So you're taking the Patriots +2.5
On the road. That's right.
+2.5. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
I'm taking the Rams +2.5, which I still don't understand. I'm hoping this is right. At home, they're
Yeah, dude.
getting 2.5.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, they're only the Super Bowl champs. Don't worry about that. And then I am going a little with my heart on this one. I'm going with the Giants. I'm hoping for a big season, and I'll take the 5.5.
Yeah,
and,
I mean with 5.5.
yeah, I'll take that. So
By the way,
that's
that'd be a good payout. Those are good bets. All
I'm
right,
also
Dillon.
taking the Giants with the 5.5. I like the Bucks, and I like the over because I think Tom Brady's going to air it out. It's the 50. It's the over's 50, and I like Green Bay. But why did you put down just a 1.5?
That's what
You
it
said
is.
2 for you though. Green Bay, you said +2.
I thought it
All
was.
right.
I might.
I like Green Bay in that situation, but
Green Bay with the points.
yeah,
So you're taking. Read them back one more time. You got.
I got Giants 5.5, Bucks with the over, Green Bay 1.5.
1.5.
Are we allowed a sidebar, or we just want to go straight? I mean, like, what's
do you
the
want?
segment? I just want to, does anyone think it's crazy that I still believe Tom Brady's going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the
Dillon
league
thinks.
this year?
No,
Dillon,
I think he's gonna be amazing.
Dillon thinks he's going to put on an aerial show. Dillon's taking the over 50.
But Tom Brady's still.
I
gonna
mean,
be
at some
amazing.
point, do you remember Peyton Manning? He broke the record for touchdowns. And the next year, even though they won the Super Bowl, he could barely throw 10 yards. Like, will this ever happen to Brady? Because I actually believe Brady is going to have another amazing season.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was watching him throw the ball. He still looks just so strong. His arm looks powerful.
He's poised to have a big year.
Yeah, I think he's going to be great.
I hope they do, and I mean, I'm looking forward to it. And I hope
Well,
the
now
Rams
we're
have a
on
great
the
year against
we're on the record with our picks.
Yeah.
All right.
DraftKings Sportsbook. And to do that, you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code, you ready? VictoryPod to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on any football game.
Wow.
All right?
Excellent.
So that's it. You've got to download it. DraftKings Sportsbook app. And don't forget the promo code VictoryPod.
Victory.
And let's start firing. Let's fire this year.